Uh, so, hello to everyone. My name is Camila Rosa. I'm from Brazil. I'm an illustrator now, but I'm a graphic designer and industrial designer also. So, thanks Jay for inviting me to talk here today. It's maybe the first time that I talk for people like by online. So if anyone don't understand something, please ask me because I'm from Brazil. So the first thing, okay, here I am. I'd like to talk about my life. I was born in a small city from the south of Brazil called Joinville. I have 28 years old, and yeah, now I'm living in New York, but I'll talk about my beginning before talk about my life right now. Um, so I started my life with design in university. I was graduated in industrial design in 2011. And I worked with that for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Yeah. I worked in a industry of trophies. I was the responsible people to developing trophies in a big industry in my city. And after 3 years working with that, I decided to change my life because work with industrial design is very hard because it's a lot of responsibilities, and I decided to change. So at the same time, in 2010 and 2011, I started a street art collective called Collective Chá. Chá is like the name for tea in Brazil. Me and more 3 friends, we started this collective, and the idea of this collective was drawing about, I don't know, everything, and put these drawings on the street. So we draw in a simple paper, and we put these on the walls on the street with glue. So that's the idea. So we start to do that in Joinville, and people will start to talk with us, to invite us to do workshops, and after that we did some exhibitions, and because of that, I discovered that it's possible to live by art, because the collective gives me this idea that okay, you can do that, and you can try at least to live by art. So can I pass? This is in the presentation you can see like the beginning of the thing. So here we are, like we do like this web page, and we put on some products or on the streets. So we did some work for some companies in my city. We did some workshops, and yeah, this is my beginning in working with art. So, but at the same time, I was working in the industry, so I decided that after I finished my university, I will move. So in 2011, at the end of the year, I moved to São Paulo. It's a huge city, so it was very crazy because Joinville is a small city. Like the, it's the big city of my state, but my state is very small. So when I decided to move to São Paulo, it was really different, and it was very crazy because São Paulo is very similar than here in New York. So there's a lot of crazy people and there's a lot of traffic. There's violence, so it's totally different from my city, my hometown. But in São Paulo, I start to work in a studio, in a graphic design and illustration studio, and there I understand it's how it's living is no how can I live with illustrations for real. Like in this studio, we worked with big companies, and we did like illustrations for books and for other companies. But that was my first contact with something more professional, maybe. And there I decided that my dream was work with illustration. So in 2012, I decided that. So now I need to work and study more to live by art. So yeah, I lived in São Paulo just 1 year. After that, I decided to move because it was very crazy to me. And you know, my family is still living in my hometown, and it was very difficult to me live uh, so far. And because São Paulo was very crazy. So I decided to move again because I love moves. And I moved to Curitiba. It's a other city in the south, but it's like a medium city. Like it's not too small and not too big like São Paulo. So in Curitiba, I start to work like a freelance designer, graphic designer, because industrial designer doesn't exist anymore. It was died. And there I start to work like a freelancer and start a online shop and start to selling my things. Like in Curitiba was the time that I start to do a work more political. I start to try things more different. I started drawing like these girls that I draw today. So it was very cool to live there. I lived there 3 years, and there I start to go to some fairs to sell my work, and at the same time I had an online shop to sell my things. So it was the way to live by art, because it's almost impossible to live by art. So I had to do my job like full time, 8 hours by day, working in a design studio. And in my free time, I work like with illustration, but was very hard to work, like had two lives. So the last year, 2016, my husband was invited to work here in New York, and we decided to move again. And we moved to here, and maybe this was the time that I understand that, okay, now I can work with illustration, but was a tough path. Like here, I start to draw every day, so I had the time to draw every day, and because of that, my illustration skills started to making start to doing better, making better, stay better, maybe. And here I had the opportunity to work with big companies, and at the same time with big projects, not companies. So I have great opportunities. Like I will show something for you guys. Okay, this was one of the works that I did here for Refinery 29. So they invited me to do something for women for the summer, for body positive, like this mind, to change the mind of the woman. So this was the briefing. And when I came to New York, one of the, like, not goals, but one of the things that I really want to do was illustrate for refinery. So this is happening, and was amazing for me. It was like, okay, maybe now I can work with that, because big companies invited me to work with them, and okay, maybe I have a work, like I can be more confident about my work. And here I start to be more confident because of this work. So this was one of the illustrations that I did. This was another one, and this was another one. So the three illustrations talk about the same thing, about summer, about body positive motivation, and about women. So they invited me because I like to draw this type of girls, this type of woman. I like to put some political things in my work, actually, right now. And yeah, and after that, I did some work to Bust magazine. That was my first publication, and was one of my goals here also, work with Bust or another magazine that talk with women, but not like glamour of or women's health or something like that. I would like to work with some magazine that talks with women in a different way, more real. And Bust invited me to do this illustration, to dip this illustration about women running for office. And yeah, and I did 3 sketches, and they approved one. Was very simple, and I did that, and I have the magazine, and I'm very, like, emotional about that, because it was my first magazine, and maybe my one of the real works that I did. So it's very important to me. Okay, what more? Let me see. Okay, this is one other picture about the magazine. Yeah, and I have this another work to show, and that's the last one. This was very nice because this was from the collective from here, from New York. Is an artist collective. So the idea is about, they invited women artists, and they changed the advertising on the street. They put art on the place, and yeah, they invited me, and I did, and they put on the streets, and it was really nice for me, like, to see my work. But at the same time, it was really nice to work with independent collective. Like, this is possible. We can do that. Like, we can put our work on the street without permission. And this is a way to talk about these different subjects, like about feminism, about veganism. And I like to do my work, and I like to put on the streets, because it's really important to talk with everyone. And the streets is very democratic, a democratic way to talk with people. So that's why I like to do my works to streets. And that's it. This is a picture with the advertising. And the last one, there's one more. Okay, this was very crazy also, because was a project by Amplifier Foundation. They do a work about art and politics. So they work with artists that like to draw some political things, and they had this public call for art for Women's March, and I did some illustrations for that, but my work was not choose for the 3-1, was not the 3-1 choose it. So okay, I think about, okay, I was not chosen, but at least I tried. Okay, but after 2 or 3 weeks, they sent me an email inviting me to be part of the touring exhibition that they will do in the United States, and and it was amazing. It was like, oh my God, I didn't believe that this is gonna happening right now, but yeah, the exhibition is just works by women and talking about the Women's March, and I have my work there, and they did exhibitions in Seattle, Asheville, Los Angeles, and they will continue the exhibition in other places, but I don't know where yet. And it was amazing for me, this experience to put my work there, and yeah, that's it. This is example, and other works that they choose it. Have a lot of great artists, by the way. And another picture, yeah. And here it's another other works that I did. Like I did some almost the work that I always do is like draw something and put on the internet and feel what the people are thinking about what I do, and I like to draw what I want to draw. So this was things that I draw like to me, and I put on the internet. People start to like send messages, and they show like what they think about my work. And yeah, that was my path until now. And now I'm living here in New York until November. So after November, I go back to Brazil, and that's it. That was my history. I don't know if anyone has some questions. Feel free to ask me. But I have another thing to show. So the idea of this talk is about art and my life. But I think that art is a way to also try to change the world. Not like we can try, sometimes work, sometimes not, but I think art can be a way to try to change. And I have some other artists that for me was important, or I just like their work. But the first one that I will talk is about Black Panthers. It's Emory Douglas. So he was the responsible, for doing the art of Black Panthers in 60s. So he did all the newspapers of Black Panthers, and he did a lot of posters and art, and he's amazing. He did an exhibition here in New York 2 months ago, and his work was really amazing and really important, like to community and for people understand how racism works in this country and in the world. So I'm a huge fan of the work of Emory Douglas, and I think that he's one of the most important artists that work with political art. And okay, I can talk. So one work more, and this collective where we at, I'm I knew this. I know no. I knew this collective on exhibition here in Brooklyn Museum, and was a collective just by African American women. And the idea of the collective was talk about uh, the space of Black women in the art here. So they did amazing work also, like this. And so all the women working together and the things about Black women and about freedom, about like have space to work being a Black woman. And the last one is this. It's a book, but this book is about a workshop that happening in 1974 until 1990. So the idea was like workshops to teach women to do some posters about feminism and about women, about work, about labor division, about education, and this was for educated women. So it was an amazing book. The book has all the posters that they did in the past. So this was one of the posters, and this is amazing. So I don't know. I'd like to ask something. I don't know if you are able to talk or no. Feel free to talk or no. I'm totally okay with that. So, do you know or do you have some artist or illustrator or I don't know, some people that do something that you really like involved with art or no? Someone? A favorite artist or illustrator?
Does anybody have any things they want to share? Please unmute yourself.
Feel free. It's okay if you don't want to talk.
I think each of you guys probably has at least someone that you might look up to or find inspiring. And I know you guys have been writing a few down in the classroom as well.
Okay. So anyway, and I don't know, someone likes to draw at least, or or no, or
I would if I could.
everyone could.
I'm on his side.
Salim, you did
I'm
a good
miserable.
portrait of me, if I recall.
It was the worst. It was literally the worst.
You just need to practice.
Like, it was so bad you didn't even take it with you. Let's be
I
honest
did
here.
take it with me.
You
Yeah,
did?
I had a photo of it. Yeah, as well.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because I asked you to send it to me again, and because I had accidentally deleted it, and you told me you didn't have one.
Wait, maybe I forgot it in the hotel room, but I definitely have a photo of it somewhere. I'm gonna find it.
It was really bad. And it was with crayons as well. It was the worst.
That made it tougher, for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, what was the previous question? I didn't really get all of it.
The question is about if you have some favorite illustrator or artist to share with me.
I don't know. I have a lot of them on Instagram. Like.
Oh yeah, me too.
They always show up on my feed, and I just then, from time to time. Oh, actually, wait. What are they called? I really like Trophy Wife Barbie.
Trophy wife?
Barbie.
Barbie?
They use Barbie dolls and then take amazing, and also sometimes very provocative
Cool.
pictures using those Barbie dolls.
This is cool. Barbie dolls, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like really provocative and different.
But I think that art had to be provocative, in my opinion. But sometimes it's very dangerous. I don't know. Like, for example, I will give just one example that it's happening right now in Brazil. We had an exhibition about queer art, and some conservative people did like they asked to exhibition to close it before the date because the art talked about uh, pedophilia. I don't know how to talk. Let me translate. Like with kids, sex, kids,
Pedophiles, yeah.
pedophile, yeah. But the art was not about that. But they closed the exhibition because they just don't like. And the bank that was doing this exhibition, they listened these people and they closed the exhibition 1 month before the date because of these like conservative people. So that's why I talk to you that sometimes it's dangerous because I don't know, right now in Brazil we had a lot of conservative people. So sometimes art could be dangerous. Okay. What more? Now I have something to you guys. I don't know if someone is able to do that or if you wanna try to do at least. But after that, after show to you like these artists and my work, I'd like to ask you to try to create a simple poster talking about something that you'd like to change in the world right now. Like, I don't know if you guys think that we had some problems in the world right now, right? Like we had Trump and other problems and big problems, but I don't know if you want to try to draw something. I'd love to see these works, and also I'd love to answer some questions or talk about something. Feel free to ask me or just I don't know. Tell me something.
I have a question before we sort of jump into the activity. I'm wondering if you could quickly just talk about your process for how you might even begin to create a poster like this for just for these guys to sort of get some ideas as to how they might even, you know, start.
Sure, I have some things here to share. Like, for example, I'll talk about refinery because that's one of the sketches that I have here. So I always start, like, when they pass me the briefing, I like to write the main idea of the work, write in a paper. And after that, I will go to internet to find some examples or some references, and I always do a paste, no. Anyway, something on the internet where I put all my reference, and like I always use like 1 day for that, just to understand about the word of the illustration. And after that, I do some sketches, like simple sketches, because I'm not really good by hand. So I did something like that, just with black pen and pencil.
Are you
And
really telling me you think that's bad?
no, but you know, I understand that have a lot of people that have a really better work than me. So I understand that this is simple. So I always talk about that in the emails that I send to my clients. It was just simple sketches. Don't judge me because that's what I need to do, you know, just for the idea. And after that, I send to them like 2 or 3 sketches, depends of the client. I prefer to send just one, but sometimes they ask me to send like 3. And and after that, I put this on Illustrator, and that's the end. Like, and I choose the colors, but I like to have a lot of references. So a lot of illustrators, artists, and different things, because I think that this is the most important thing, have good reference. And I learned this with a boss of Brazil. He always talked that to me. Camila, have to have good reference, because that's the way that you can find a way to resolve your work, if you had good ideas on your mind. And that's it. That's my way to draw.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
No
I think
problem.
that's super helpful in sort of understanding the ways that we can sort of process how we might make a poster. I think for the people that are on this call right now, photography and film are the main mediums of choice. So thinking about illustration and how we might design a poster might be a little bit more difficult. But of course, yeah. I think even thinking about the way that you might want to frame a photo or something like that for a poster is really important. So if we want to sort of jump into this activity, I think each of you guys that are on the call right now do have some sort of issue that you're passionate about or that matters to you. So thinking about a poster that might convey some sort of aspect about how you'd want that issue to change is a really meaningful sort of activity. Does anyone have any questions before we sort of jump into it?
Questions are something that you share with me about your work or what you do.
Sorry, my internet just cut out, so I didn't I didn't hear.
No, I just thought to, if someone wants to share something with me, not just ask me something, but you know, if you want to share about day workers, I don't know.
No, not yet. Okay, so maybe what we'll do is we'll give you guys, I think you should all have paper and some sort of writing utensil or drawing utensil. We'll give you guys a few minutes to start sketching out what that might look like. Again, don't be too hard on yourselves. It's just a sketch for now. If you guys want to continue working on it later, feel free. But then maybe once those few minutes are up, we'll come back and then maybe share what we've done.
Yeah, yeah, guys, don't feel pressionated. Pression. Don't feel some pressure. Yeah, pressure.
No worries.
Sorry, sometimes.
No, of course.
Hard.
Yeah, so we'll give you about 3 minutes right now, and then if you guys need a bit more time, maybe we'll give you a bit more time after. And if you have any questions, of course, just interrupt.
Yeah. Or if you want to talk about your work, talk with me.
See, I just keep realizing I really don't have any drawing talent. I don't know what I'm doing.
I did find your sketch, so I'll share it at the end.
Let me see, please. I just tried to show you.
You didn't do one though, did you?
I did. One of you. Did you not keep it?
Oh, I did actually. Wait, let me check. Hold on.
Okay, this is like.
See, you look absolutely mad. You look like a crazy person.
No, there's no way. You can draw in the way that you want. It's a free world.
I mean, the hair is pretty accurate. I will say that for sure.
Yeah.
Probation was really good.
Yes. And he was going at it for a while.
But that's his medium.
Yeah,
He's really good at it.
But drawing is about to practice every day. I learned that. Because if you don't draw, you don't start to be better. You have to draw every day, every day. Or at least like 3 times a week.
The amount of years it's been since I've actually sharpened my pencils is ridiculous.
It looks nothing like a hand.
All good. Just a sketch.
Yeah. Look at this. I did this like yesterday at night just to try my new markers, and I look at that and I think, oh my God, what I'm doing? It's horrible, but it's just a sketchy, so it's okay.
Drop my pen.
Okay, how's everyone doing? Are we about done with the rough sketch?
Does it need to have color?
No.
Okay. I can't find any coloring pencils, so.
No, it's okay. You can choose wherever you want.
We'll give you maybe 1 more minute, just because we only have about 10 left, and then maybe if you guys can share, if your webcam works, then if you could hold up your sketch, that would be awesome. Otherwise, if it doesn't, maybe just explain what issue you chose briefly, and then maybe just a brief description of what is featured in your poster.
Yeah. Okay, who's the first?
No volunteers? We're going to have to choose randomly. Pick up.
Giza.
Hey.
Yeah, I just.
Hey.
Alright. So like currently at Global Action Project, we're like I'm working hard to fight for DACA. So I drew like people standing together, I guess.
Whoa, nice.
This is like my 3rd try. I'm not a
No, it's a great subject, DACA.
Yeah.
I just discovered that.
They're standing together and holding hands basically and fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice.
Awesome.
It's about drawing about something that you really want to talk for people. That's the idea. So that's great.
Then did you want to go next?
Do you talk to me? Not just yet, because I actually do need to do some coloring in. So
Okay, no problem.
yeah, for it to like kind of work to express what I mean.
Okay.
So if someone else could go first.
Jordan and Tanisha?
Well, wait, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, I kind of had a different outlet on things. Like, I had 3 colors, one like colored in like a pyramid shape, and then 2 stripes afterwards, and then I put 1 line between the 2 colors, and then 2 lines. Basically, it's a hierarchy system, and how I see it is that like different people represent like a different hierarchy system. So even different people of color. So it's just matching that, and I think that's the problem within society as well. Is that it's basically a racism thing, but it's very subliminal. Like some people of status normally see others as a lower race. So yeah, that's I guess my thing. It's quite simple, but I guess effective.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, and I kind of like the symbolism in it. It's not as literal as some of the other images that we've seen today, but it has that symbolism, and that's really cool.
Yeah, but you can work like in 2 ways, more subjective or more objective. I like to put like things more objective because sometimes people don't understand the objective. So I try to do more simple and directed. Okay.
Thanks, Jordan. Tanisha?
Okay. Can you see this?
Yes. Burning.
Yeah. So I did like mine climate change. So I did like the earth, and then that's supposed to be flames. And then I don't know if you guys know the festival Burning Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wrote Burning Mankind.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I love. You should send, all of you should send this to me by email, if you could, please. I'd like to have this with me. It was great.
Awesome. We can definitely pass along your email, and I know that there's a few youth that weren't able to join today, some from Brazil, and they're experiencing a power outage, so they couldn't be here. So they've asked if possible, if we can pass along your info and
Sure.
just so that they can chat.
Perfect. Yeah.
I think they're really interested. Awesome. Last but definitely not least, unless Tanya, you did one as well.
No.
Guys, why do you guys never participate? You also didn't make a rap, Tanya. I'm shocked.
So much technical troubles. I was
For the street art one, I did actually participate. I did it.
I did too. And
it wasn't good, but I did it.
But I can show you a beautiful art I'm sitting beside.
Okay. Great. It's okay. At least you show me something. Okay.
I was just about to say, that's the best way to avoid the question.
Look at someone else's art. All right.
Right, my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For the
you
context.
have to turn on your camera, so I don't think we can see you.
Oh, right. Sorry. Right. Excuse my big ass headphones. Right. For the context.
Oh, okay. Now I see you.
Can you see me all right?
Yes.
For the context, it's kind of the text I've written is a quote from a song that I really like. Well, I don't really like the song because it's not my kind of music, but I really like the line. So, and it's directed at some of the people because we've got elections in 12 days. Kind of worried about it, but this is kind of directed at that. Can you? Oh wait. Can you read it, or is it like the wrong way around?
No, it's okay.
Right way.
Can
you see it all right? Hatred is the greenest weed you've grown.
Hatred is the greenest
Weed you've grown.
Okay.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Right, I'm going to turn the camera off again because my internet is really, really slow when mine's on.
Okay, so what's the name of the music? What's the name of the music?
This song, I think it's called originally Auschwitzem, which is, I think, Polish for Auschwitz.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Which is why hatred is the greenest wheat you've grown. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's it.
That's everyone.
Okay. Nice. Nice. You guys draw it in like 5 minutes. It's awesome. I can't. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we have about 3 minutes left before we have to wrap up. So I guess before we go, does anyone have any questions? And then if not, we'll leave it to you to wrap it up, Camila.
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
Anyone?
I do. My question to you is, what was your most nerve-wracking experience involving your work?
Most what? Sorry?
What was your most nerve-wracking experience involving your work?
Let me think. Maybe like with the collective from Brazil, we did like a project for schools in Brazil, public schools. We did some workshops for them about street art, and for sure this was my big experience because it was amazing teaching kids about art or about put their ideas on the street. So it was great. Yeah. I would like to teach in the future. That was my dream, maybe. My plan for the future, teach about art or something like that. So, yeah, that's why I like it so much.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Do you always use like the same face on all the women?
Right now, yes. No, I started to change in the last weeks. I did some different, but just like the eyes, and I don't know, I like this face because it was hard to find this face. Was a tough test, and I don't know, maybe in the future I use change, but right now I like to use that.
Okay. Well, it's kind of your like signature, right? So
Yeah,
I mean,
but
if someone knows your work, they're gonna, if they see some other piece you did, they're gonna reconnect it to you.
yeah. But this is tricky sometimes. So I don't know about the future. Maybe I will changing to another way. I don't know. But right now I'm okay. I'm comfortable.
No,
Any more questions?
Yeah.
All at the same time. Okay, if not, I just want to say thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing with us I think your work is really, really awesome, and thank you for also taking us through that exercise. Hopefully, at some point in the future, each one of you kind of uses this process, because I think that posters are super impactful in one way or another. But otherwise, yeah, again, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for listening me, everyone. Sorry if sometimes I couldn't be more clear, but I tried a lot. And if you like my work, you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook, send me a message, send me an email, feel free to talk with me. And that's it. If you want to go to Brazil, call me.
Sounds good. All right, guys. We will see you all in 2 weeks. We don't have any homework for you at the moment, but I'm sure in the next couple of days we'll be sending you something, so keep an eye out for that in the follow-up. But yeah, otherwise, see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, 3.
What?
Yeah.
This is always awkward.
Bye.
Salim, I've mailed out your tile or collage piece.
Yeah, see,
week.
I was gonna ask you about. Did you do it last week?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with that.
Because yeah, I was gonna stick around to ask you because yeah, I don't think I've mentioned it to you explicitly. I do know we talked about it like a few months back, but I'm actually flying to the US on next week, Wednesday, because of my sister's wedding.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, but it should arrive by then, right?
Yeah, I mailed it out on Thursday, I believe.
Okay.
It should be on its way. Let me check.
Do you have like a tracking number?
Yep, I'm forwarding you right now.
Oh, that's
It's all
perfect.
in German, so I couldn't.
Oh, that's fine. I don't
Yeah, so I just forwarded